Hi, and welcome to weeks 8 and 9. Now, weeks 8 and 9 extend through spring break, so you actually have 3 weeks to plan for this 2-week module. You can work in week 8 and complete all of the activities, and then you'll have spring break in week 9 if you want to work on major assignments, whatever the case may be, or you can spread the activities throughout the 3 weeks, or you can work in week 8, take a break in spring break, and come back in week 9. Whatever you decide to do will be fine, but you do have 3 weeks to work on this 2-week module. The topics for these 2 weeks will be e-books and apps, graphic novels, young adult literature, and traditional literature. The literature circle discussion for the graphic novel has now been moved to week 10 when we return to the classroom, so you need not worry about meeting with your literacy circle virtually over the next 3 weeks. The Family Literacy Backpack Reflection is due week 10. That's Sunday, April 10th by 11:59 p.m. So I'll see you online over the next 3 weeks and in person after those 3 weeks in week 10. So right now I'm going to tell you have a wonderful spring break. But before you start spring break, I'm going to lead you through my expectations for the work to be completed in weeks 8 and 9. You're completing the first activity, which is to view the video just to better understand the expectations for this week. The second activity is your social emotional learning activity. We're still working with our social emotional cultural anchor competencies. So here is a slide presentation that looks like this. I have already brought it up. This is the first slide. I have put the framework that you've seen before for the social, emotional, and culture anchor competencies. This is the resource guide, the link to the resource guide that you're going to be taking a closer look at in this activity. And what you will do is select 2 of the resources from this resource guide under a particular anchor competency. So you're going to identify the anchor competency, identify 2 resources. You're going to share some information about those resources and how you might use them in your classroom. And you're going to create a slide or 2. I don't think you'll need 3, but you have plenty of slides here. And if we run out of slides, you could create more slides. And what we will have is a classroom presentation of the anchor competencies based on the information that you are learning from the resource guide. Now, you might want to use some information from your Padlet that you created in a previous lesson. Here is the link to your Padlet that you can use as well. We'll go back to weeks 8 and 9. That's the first activity. The second, that's the first activity other from viewing the video. Your next activity is to evaluate a graphic novel. So after viewing the PowerPoint right here found below, you're going to evaluate a graphic novel such as the one you have been assigned to for your literacy circle. And using the information from the PowerPoint, you're going to create an evaluation of the quality of your graphic novel. You're going to post your response in this week's Dropbox. Then the next activity is to have an ebook discussion. You're going to read the article, Future of eBooks, and you're going to either agree or disagree with the following quote. What we really love about books is the content, not the format. Using information from the article to support your opinion, comment on one of your colleagues' postings. So you will need to look at somebody else's work from our class, and you're going to comment on their posting in regards to this discussion about ebook formats. We're also looking at young adult literature. And so there are 2 articles here. These are the links to the articles, Why Gossip Girls Matter, or The Lit of Chick Lit. And many literature experts snub YA literature because they feel it's not high caliber enough. Based on the article you read, you only need to read one of them. Compose an argument that argues the value of young adult literature, particularly in the lives of teen readers. Now, maybe after you've read the article, you've read other information about the value of YA literature, and you don't feel that it is valuable to teen readers, you may also use that opinion as well. You're going to post your work in this discussion Dropbox and comment on a colleague's postings different than your own. And that does not mean necessarily that you're going to find somebody who disagrees with the value of young adult literature. They may also, but it's just comment on somebody else's opinion as well. We're going to take a look at folklore with two different activities. The first one is to read Chapter 6 of your textbook first, and then you're going to select a folktale. Perhaps it's one of the folktales you selected for your self-selected virtual library, and you're going to evaluate it according to the PowerPoint and the evaluating folklore link below. So here is the PowerPoint. And this is the document you're going to use to help you evaluate the folklore literature. You're going to provide the author, the title, the author of the book, and a short summary. You're going to identify the type of folklore that book is based on the information provided in the PowerPoint slides in Chapter 6 and also in this document here. You're going to evaluate the book using the handout or the document here, evaluating folklore, and you're going to discuss whether you think this piece of folklore is authentic to the culture. Provide a rationale for your reasoning. Post your responses in the Dropbox. The other activity for our folklore topic this week is that you're going to actually video yourself sharing a folktale and telling the story. Not reading the story, but you're going to actually tell the story, and you're going to create a selfie of that, and you're going to post the selfie, and then you're going to comment on mine that I have done and on one other colleague's. Here is an example of one. Use the storytelling tips when you go to evaluate your colleague and me. Pick one of those and use that as your guide to your comment. So in this activity here, there are several things you're going to do. You're going to actually tell the story, and you're going to actually create a selfie of you telling the story, and then you're going to post that link to your responses below, and you're going to then comment. You're going to watch somebody else's storytelling, because you've probably already watched mine, so you have an idea of how to do this activity, and then you're going to comment on mine and one other colleague's. And last but not least, we're taking a look at the picture book apps. So you're going to read these two articles right here, selecting appropriate book apps for beginning readers and what makes a good picture app, and then you're going to respond to these questions. What are the benefits of digital picture book use? How would you pair a picture book app with its printer counterpart for use in the classroom? Using the criteria presented in the articles, evaluate one of the following book apps found at the bottom of this page. Please don't let the pigeon drive the bus, the monster at the end of the book, or my very hungry caterpillar. And here are the three picture book apps that you're going to use. That's the last activity for over the 2 weeks. Here are some reminders. Your Lit Circle for graphic novel discussion has now been scheduled for week 10. You do not need to worry about it if you're looking at the course schedule. I have made that change. Your literacy and backpack assignment will be due week 10, and I'll remind you again when we are in class in week 10 that you have until that following Sunday to make sure you turn that in. So if you have not turned in your draft, please turn in your draft so I can okay that before you go ahead. You need to have a draft so I can make sure things look good for your family, and then you put your backpack together and send it off to the family and give them about a week to finish it. They might need a little bit longer. And then when you return it, then you can create your reflection and post that in the Literacy and Backpack assignment Dropbox. Author study presentations, we have two when we return week 10, one on J.K. Rowling and one on Derek Taylor Kent. I'm excited for those, and we'll look forward to those. And then your book trailer is due week 11. The assignments now that we're in the second half of the semester are going to be coming in quickly. So please make sure that you stay on top of all of the major assignments. As always, if you have questions about any of this or anything at all related to the course, please don't hesitate to reach out to me. I'll be responding to you as quickly as I can. Otherwise, have a great spring break. And also, I'll miss you over the next 3 weeks.